two individuals chosen by Republican leader Kevin McCarthy to serve on this Nancy Pelosi so-called committee to look at January 6th, or basically to lie about it and try and use it again as a political weapon. Two conservatives, Jim Banks and Jim Jordan, she has refused to seat. And in part, she's refused to seat them because the Marxists within her party have told her not to. Now, what am I talking about? Here's Ayach commenting the other day on CNN with Don Lemon, another fraud, about McCarthy's picks for the January 6th commission. And of course, it's not E.F. Hutton, those of us who are old enough to know. It is Nancy Pelosi who's listening. Go.
So tonight, House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy picking the 5 Republicans who will sit on the select committee that will investigate the deadly January 6th insurrection.
The deadly January 6th insurrection. Just listen to how this clown lies. Deadly? The only killing that occurred was a police officer who killed an unarmed protester. Other people who died of natural causes. So that's number one. Number two, nobody's charged with an insurrection because it was not an insurrection. But that doesn't matter to this clown and his clown show network, which has almost no ratings. Go.
The committee's first hearing is set for next week, and let's talk about this big development and other things, other important topics, with Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a New York Democrat. We're so happy to have you here. It's good to see you. Thanks for appearing.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
So let's get to the breaking news that we talked about. The House Minority Leader, Kevin McCarthy, selecting who he wants to be on this January 6th commission. Jim Jordan, Rodney Davis, Kelly Armstrong, and freshman Troy Nehls. 3 of these members voted to overturn election results in Arizona and Pennsylvania.
Wow, can't have that. Only Democrats can do that, which they've done repeatedly. Only Democrats can bring in Russia collusion. Only Democrats can bring what I would argue 2 unconstitutional impeachments. Only Democrats can demand special prosecutor to investigate the President of the United States. Is this a joke? Yes. Go ahead.
Do these picks...
Stop. Breaking news. Now, as you know, I'm taping this program, but nonetheless, Kevin McCarthy just did the right thing. He pulled all of these members from this select committee, every one of them. Nancy Pelosi doesn't get to select the Republicans who are doing the committee. Now, I know she's used to her Marxist fascistic tactics. We really need to defeat her in the next election. Just get her the hell out of there, for God's sakes. But the fact of the matter is, McCarthy just pulled all 5. And I must say, I don't know why we recommended putting anybody on this committee anyway. Go.
To you about how seriously or not seriously the minority leaders taking this investigation, Representative?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think Kevin McCarthy has decided that his role as a minority leader in the House of Representatives is to essentially be chauffeur of the clown car. And he...
Oh, you know, isn't this spectacular television? One fraud interviewing another fraud. He already knows her answers. And she already knows the questions. I don't mean they shared them. It's just that they think identically. Go ahead.
That his job is to champion some of the most ludicrous, irresponsible, and dangerous members of his party instead of centering...
Now that's pretty funny coming out of her mouth. Ludicrous, irresponsible, dangerous. Actually, that's her. Go ahead.
Some of the more even-keeled and responsible members of his party. And
oh, right, the ones who agree with her. They're even-keeled and responsible. In other words, they're pushovers and buffoons. Go ahead.
That's what he's decided his leadership is and what it means to this country. I think it's shameful, but it will not stop Democrats, and it will not stop people who are actually interested in setting this country on the right track and trying to...
Setting this country on the right track, that's what she's interested in doing. Isn't this the woman, the birthing person who just embraced Castro and the regime and what was going on over there? Isn't this the birthing person who embraced Hamas against Israel? Isn't this the birthing person who trashes the United States of America, our law enforcement, our border patrol, and ICE? She wants to get the country back on the right track. And the idiot staring into the camera with that constipated look on his face agrees with her 100%. Go.
Should the House Speaker, should Nancy Pelosi veto any of these picks?
You hear this? They're telling Nancy Pelosi what to do. This is why we're playing this. And Nancy Pelosi just did it. Go.
Officially, before they officially join this committee?
Well, you know, I leave that decision to her, but I think she's well within her right when the minority leader decides to nominate people who actively attempted to overturn the results of this election and who were, frankly, not only active participants in the dangers and what we saw in the insurrection.
So Jim Jordan and Jim Banks, but Jim Jordan, who I know well, he was involved in the active, dangerous insurrection. This is the mindset of a Marxist. You lie about your opponent. She's an Alinskyite. She throws whatever she has, kitchen sink and everything else, at people who disagree with her. I'm surprised she didn't say he's appointing a bunch of white supremacists to the committee. We can't have that. Go.
But were some of the leaders and some of the, you know, drum majors of the insurrection. I believe that she's well.
See what I mean? Insurrection, drum major, lies, propaganda, demagoguery. Go.
To veto some of these picks. I think that they're frankly insulting, and that Kevin McCarthy's picks are insulting not just on a party basis, but to this country.
I don't disagree with you on that.
Oh, he doesn't disagree with her. Well, I have to say, that's a big day over there at CNN.
For more, sign up for Levin TV.